So for exercise 4A, to create a clipping mask, you would have brought in this image into Photoshop, and it would normally be background with a lock. You'll unlock it, create a copy. You can rename these layers if you want. This one would be top beach pick. And then with this top layer selected, you would go ahead and say Layer, Create Clipping Mask. And then going into your blend options here, you will create that gradient overlay. And I believe yours was set to white. So if you actually go into this little tab and change the color, yours is probably set to white. And so what's happening is it's going to complete white. You can adjust the opacity on that. And if you have preview selected, you can see it happening kind of before you say okay. So this is what I wanted you to experiment with. Like, you can go into any one of these other blend modes. Texture, maybe you add some texture. You can see that coming together. Depth, you can go in and change it to there we go. Got some leaves going on in there. You could say okay. And then of course, if you want to, you can also adjust the opacity here where you can see it a lot easier. So it's just really kind of faint right within your layers panel. So experimenting with that as a clipping mask to bring in some blend modes was the assignment requirement. So I believe what ended up happening was within the gradient, you click on a color, you can adjust the opacity, and then it will eliminate the mask to cover up the entire photo with white. Okay, and one of the other things you can do if you wanted to create that clipping mask again, you can release that clipping mask if you want to try it again here. Command J. Layer, clipping mask. Go down to your effects, gradient. You can change that color also. For example, if I wanted like a cool pink, some interesting things can start to happen. If I say okay, and then I adjust the opacity, it does give it a subtle hue, a warm hue, in that way. So I wanted you to just play around and have fun with that part, understanding how to use clipping mask.